So I've been learning Spanish for a long time, but I still feel like a beginner, especially when it comes to speaking. When I try to speak Spanish, I have multiple different problems that I struggle with. One is that I feel like I can understand spoken Spanish a lot better than I can speak it. When I hear Spanish, either in a video or music or in person, I feel like I understand a lot more than I'm able to speak. If I have an interaction, I feel that I am able to get the gist of what the person is saying. Of course, context helps, and if I have an idea of what I expect someone to say, when they do speak, I am able to catch the main point of what is being said most of the time. Some words escape me, but I understand the point. The problem is when I try to respond, or if I try to lead the conversation, I feel myself hesitating. I feel that I can't think of the right words. I'm translating in my head, and I just generally feel unnatural and clunky. And this frustrates me a lot. And part of the problem I have is that I'm scared of making mistakes. I'm really a bit of a perfectionist, and it kills me a little bit when I'm trying to learn Spanish. I know that it'd be better for me if I just tried and said the wrong thing and didn't worry about it. I don't need to worry. Obviously, I'm learning. It's okay if I don't say the right thing, but it bothers me, and it's something I've always struggled to overcome, is that fear of making a mistake. I know that it's wrong. I know I should just try, and if I fail, I fail, but I'll learn from it. So this causes me a lot to overthink and hesitate, and instead of just speaking and saying something, putting some general sentence together, I start getting a little bit too worried about it. And then oftentimes after an interaction, I think, well, I could have just said this, or I'm like, I know that word. I know how to say that. Or what I thought was the right thing is the right thing, but I didn't even try. I didn't say it. I just let it go. So to give a little bit of context about some of the stuff I've experienced, I've been to Mexico twice in the last couple of years. When I'm there, I try my best to practice speaking Spanish with the staff and any locals. It's a prime opportunity to practice. So of course, I'm going to try. But I find a lot of the times, if I'm approaching somebody and I have an idea what I want to say, something basic and polite, that's usually pretty good. But then after that is where it gets a little bit complicated. Sometimes they ask me something I wasn't expecting, or I even go in with a plan, but then I give up on the plan because I'm not comfortable saying that. I get worried that maybe what I was thinking of saying is not correct. And then instead of trying, I just might bail and say something simple that I at least know that I can handle. And I don't think this is generally the best approach. I think it'd be better for me if I just tried and did my best, and then I could learn from there. So in those couple of trips to Mexico, I also went to Spain for my honeymoon last summer. In those few trips, I learned that it's not generally a problem of vocabulary, although sometimes I stumble and I forget or don't know a word. That's definitely a hurdle. It's not the main problem. What I found out is that I have an extreme lack of practice and comfort speaking Spanish. That was one of the main reasons I started this YouTube channel, was to force me to practice speaking more often in some of my daily videos where I speak Spanish completely, just to get myself more in the habit of practicing speaking Spanish. Of course, it's not as good as speaking to somebody in a conversation, but I think that it's something that helps. One of the biggest takeaways I had actually from these trips to Spanish-speaking countries is that my vocabulary and my understanding is actually pretty good. The biggest progress I need to make is in the speaking department. But of course, unfortunately, it's a little hard. I don't have people that I really know that I'm able to speak with on a daily basis. Even if I can here and there, and a vacation is nice, but it's always short-lived. And then I'm back to my daily life where I don't have those opportunities to practice. I wish I lived somewhere where I could do it every day, but unfortunately, I don't get to do it. And then recently, I felt a bit unmotivated to learn Spanish. I felt a little bit unmotivated to work on this YouTube channel. And generally, it's just been a bit of a slump for me in both the learning department and the YouTube department. But this video is the start of the comeback. I am not going to allow this slump to get the best of me. I've already been learning Spanish for this many years. I'm definitely not going to give up. I need to continue doing my best to learn it the best ways that I can. And I'm definitely going to try to do some things a little bit differently going forward, both in the ways that I try to learn Spanish and also in the types of videos that I make. One thing that I am doing is I'm officially quitting Duolingo, at least for now. I got to a certain streak number that I wanted to hit, and I've decided I'm done with it. It's not serving me in the ways that I need it to at this time. I'll make a separate video where I talk about that a bit, but that's one major change. Duolingo started me on my Spanish journey, and it's taken me a long way. But I think to make the next jump, I need to completely just put Duolingo to the side and do things a little bit differently, really throw myself into other ways of learning, because I feel like that's what I need. I need to restart my Spanish learning journey. I'm at a good point, but to make the next jump, I need to do things a little bit differently and challenge myself in ways that I haven't been doing enough of. and just generally also find ways to keep motivated. Motivation is hard to find. It's something that's easy to struggle with. Staying consistent is so important, especially with what I'm talking about with practicing speaking. If it was something I did every day, it would certainly mean a lot more to my development than if I only do it once a week, once a month. It's not enough. It needs to be every day. And then I feel like the progress would be much better. And there was a phase there when I first started the YouTube channel when I was doing the daily speaking series, and I felt like I was actually progressing, especially doing a video every single day, even though I struggled with some of them and I was just talking with myself. I definitely made progress and I did get better, but then I had a setback, and now I haven't been doing it, and then you quickly start regressing. Now it's like you haven't done it and you haven't spoken Spanish in 3 weeks, so what have you been doing? This normal stuff, something I've been struggling with, but I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. Learning a language is hard. There's a lot of challenges involved. It's not easy for anybody. I know that. It's hard to keep consistent and to challenge yourself and put yourself out there and keep doing it. But as I said, I'm not going to give up. Just going to reset a little bit, try to do things a little bit differently, and keep on going forward. So that's pretty much going to do it for this video. I just kind of wanted to give an update on where I'm at, do a little bit of self-reflection, acknowledge that I've had a bit of a setback in my Spanish learning journey. There's always highs and lows to this sort of thing, to any learning journey, or any journey in life. There's always highs and lows. So just wanted to acknowledge the low and then try to start on a better path going forward. So I hope you stay with me. And if you're out there and you're also learning and you're struggling with some of the same stuff, know that you're not alone. It's normal, and we just got to push through, not give up, keep going, and we'll see where we go.